Oh my gosh. Okay. So yeah, I took a shower, so I'm just combing my hair out. But okay, so last night we went out to dinner, and usually when I go out, like I went out the last time and hung out with some friends, and I noticed that I was just catching a bunch of phlegm in the back of my throat, and I kind of felt drunk off the antibiotics. And then I just hocked out a bunch of loogies the next morning. Okay. So I'm like, okay, so this is how it's going to be. Like, I don't know how my body's going to react to the atmosphere outside my house when I go out now after dealing with the two co-infections or the co-infections. And so I went out last night. I'm like, then we went to a restaurant a couple weeks ago before that. And I felt like, all the mucus and everything come up. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. So we went out last night, and you saw that. I posted, we went to Bonefish Grill. Amazing food, amazing food. It's been a while since we had, eaten at a nice restaurant. And it is kind of like our celebration month's anniversary, because we got married actually in 2011 around 9/25. And then we also met around actually October, but the month before October, which is September, which is now, I actually worked on some project to give me like $2,500 to then finance my trip over here and finance whatever I needed to get myself where I needed to go. And so, yeah, I think I promised the district manager I would get one of his agents through with like 30 policies, 30 auto and home policies, and then like 3 life policies for that month. And so I did secure that. And so that's what financed my trip over here to meet my husband. So anyway, so yesterday we went out last night, and I had a spritzer, which is basically non-alcoholic, but it was a CO2 and water. What do you call it? I don't know. Sparkling water with some fruit syrup, like blackberry fruit syrup. It was like maybe 1 or 2 pumps in it. And that was fine. And then we had, our appetizers. We had a regular dinner. I had like poke. You saw what I had. And I think I maybe blew my nose like one time. I brought my own washcloth. Blew my nose like once or twice. And it was, and that was it. There was people behind us, people in front of us. People, the waiter was excellent. The manager, since we said it's our first time there, it was my first time there. I don't know if Jason said he was there before, but they gave us a buy one, get one free. He said, hey, we're giving all our new customers a buy one, get one free. And so, hey, cool. It's a great place. And I went home last night, and I felt fine in the restaurant. I felt fine when I went home. I was tired. Like, I slept hella hard. My husband did too. And then I just woke up this morning, just hocked a few loogies out, pooped out a bunch of stuff, and I'm having now some amazing oatmeal coffee with apples in it, the fall theme, and I feel great. And I'm like, holy shit. And so then when we come home, so my husband comes home, my dog just didn't react when she came home, like as far as, getting seizures or anything. But as soon as we went out last night and came back home, she feels the energy, wasn't totally hungry, and she had a seizure this morning. Okay, so she's dealing with the energy. Until she gets rid of that mass that's working itself out from under her belly, she'll deal with seizures until all of that stuff is out of her system. But she snaps right out of it. But it's just a necessary upgrading. Just like when I went out before I got those co-infections, I would go out and I would fill up with so much mucus, and then I'd feel sick. But that dissipated over time. And then when I finally came to a head, which is when I had that COVID plus that co-infection, that's when everything came to a head. That's when everything came out. And then, of course, you heard about the residual, the yeast infections, the bladder infection, which was stuff from way back when that I did put to sleep when we were first starting the J juice, doing the garlic oil and more J juice and the colloidal silver. So no antibiotics this last time when dealing with those things coming out of my body during its last hurrah. And there was energy involved with that. Wasn't bad. The bladder infection, I definitely took a nap. And then the next day, the next couple of days, it was the yeast infection. That was fine. It's all pretty much gone now. And then my husband's saying like, oh yeah, your boobs look a little firmer. I'm like, oh, maybe I am reversing the aging process. Maybe this is what I'm giving you guys, this synopsis, so that way you guys can see at some point down the road, you need to welcome that sickness when it comes around. You can't like force it. When it comes around, you cannot try to like push it back. Deal with it now. If it comes around now, if it comes around like next month, deal with it. Don't ever push any of your sickness back with any drugs, with any kind of anything. Take the fucking time. And some of you, when you do get hit with whatever it is in your predisposed issues, you better have a nest egg and a backup plan in case that you are down for a month or two. Because that definitely could be in your genetic line, whether you're type A or B, okay? Or even type O. But see, my husband was type O, and he was like me. He couldn't move for like a day. For him, but he lessened his sickness time because he took NyQuil. Okay? I didn't take any NyQuil. And so I just sat with it for 3 freaking weeks. But when you finally get through your co-infections and all that stuff, your predisposed issues, and then you finally test out going out there, if you haven't already, if you're not out there already, some of you are already out there already, so you might be a little bit assimilated. Okay, that's fine. You'll deal with the sickness as it comes. When it does come, it'll be whatever it'll be, and you'll deal with it. Some of it, like I heard someone last night, really dealt with something that came through last night, and it really knocked him for a loop. I hope he came out of it. I don't know. He's not doing the JJ world. He's observing the JJ world, but he's not in it. But I hope that person is okay. But I'll tell you, these things that are circulating, it's just a matter of when you get something, when it's going to explode inside your body, when it's going to incubate and then replicate so fast that some people don't have time to react to it in the proper way. And, you know, they haven't built up enough resources in their body to deal with it. And then it's like gone just like that. Or they get such an event that it debilitates them and they're in the hospital undergoing whatever. And then there you go, forget it. I mean, not always forget it, but people are so afraid to deal with energy that every time they feel it, they're going to go to the hospital. And then I'll keep taking them down, notch by notch by notch by notch by notch by notch. Okay, so that's the world that we live in. But now, now my husband's like understanding that the energy that we bring into the house, new or otherwise, whatever, my dog has to deal with it. Any energy that we go out there, and at least when I go out there, I'll deal with it by hawking up the loogies. I'll deal with it by getting, the poop out. And sometimes, you have to also make sure that it's out, not just you take a poop and that's it. No, you make sure it's all out. You make sure it's all out. At least whatever is still working its way through the lower part of your intestines. If you can't get it out for whatever reason and you feel kind of weird and bloated, then you leave it alone. You don't force it out with any kind of aggressive elements. But if you're able to work stuff out and it comes out in stages, and you feel the pain, like growing pains, or you feel cramps, or you feel like if you ever had a baby, you'll feel like you're pushing a baby out. That's what it kind of feels like when you're getting all the poop out. Okay? And you'll be like, fuck, damn, this hurts. But not hurts in a bad way. It just, you feel the pressure, you feel the energy. And then whoosh, everything comes out. Okay? And that's how you got to work it. That's your way of controlling the world that you live in. That you're not dependent upon drinking something in order to get out, unless, you want to drink milk, which is fine. But I didn't drink any coffee before all what I was doing. This coffee came after I did all my stuff. So I already activated my immune system before I even drank a lick of eating anything or anything. Because I knew I had to poop. I could feel it up here and I could feel it down there. I had to poop. And when you have to poop, you also have to blow your nose. And that's when you know both sides of your alimentary canal are working simultaneously together. And so then you can go out and hang out with people and catch stuff, and then your body will take on whatever amount it needs to take on, and it also can release it. And then you also build up and lengthen your telomeres with the food that you do take in, that your body is able to convert it to energy and convert it to the good guys, and all the bad guys will stay in your ass or stay up here. Okay? And then you energize it out. When my dog sneezes or coughs, then I see the mucus come out of her vag. And so I know the energy of her coughing is pushing out stuff on the other end. That's all the physics of your alimentary canal. But when people have blockages in their alimentary canal, they don't have that luxury to push stuff out just simply by sneezing or coughing or hawking up loogies. So So that is what you want to train your body to do, is use that energy that God gave you or whoever gave you to push everything out. Okay, so anyways, I'm gonna go do my thing. Hanging out with my husband. It's nice. And you guys have a good weekend. All right, bye.